Welcome you all to the part 2 video of module 6 in Municipal Solid Waste Management. So in the previous video we have discussed what is composting process, then what are the phases taking place in the composting process, the role of microorganisms taking place in composting and the benefits of composting. Now in this video we shall discuss what are the types of composting. The main composting methods are Windrow composting, aerated static pile composting, anaerobic composting, in-vessel composting system. And in vessel there are three types: vertical composting reactor, horizontal composting reactor and rotating drum. And in the aerobic static pile composting, the name itself implies it is in the presence of oxygen, and anaerobic composting, it is in the absence of oxygen. Now we can see each composting types in detail. The first type, windrow composting. It is the least expensive and the most common approach in the composting process. Windrows are regularly turned elongated pile with a haystack shape in cross section. The length it is 100 meter or more, width 3 to 6 meter and height 1.5 to 3 meter. It is located on an impermeable and firm surface. The aeration is given by turning the pile once in a week, and frequent aeration is required if the pile contains more biosolids. So this type of composting, it takes place in the presence of oxygen. That is the windrows. It is I'll show you the figure. So this is a photograph of windrow composting, and we can see many rows. These are the rows, and the soil, that is one layer of the biosolids, it is solids, it is laid over that, the soil is laid, and in this way it is created in rows. So the aeration, it is given frequently if the particular pile contains more biosolids. If there are more solids, we will be giving more aeration. That is, this type of composting, it takes place in the presence of oxygen, and the length usually it is 100 meter or more, width 3 to 6 meter and height 1.5 to 3 meter. Now we can see the second type, that is the aerated static pile composting. It is mechanically aerated. The piles are placed over a network of pipes connected to the blowers. The use of blower is it supplies air for the composting process. Air can be supplied under positive and negative pressure, and negative pressure means drawing air out of the pile. Positive pressure means forcing air into the pile. So this is the figure of an aerated static pile composting. So we can see that in the first thing, a negative pressure is given, and the second one, a positive pressure is given. And the next type of composting, anaerobic composting. So the name itself implies it takes place in the absence of oxygen. That is anaerobic and facultative bacteria. We know that facultative bacteria are those bacteria which survives in the presence and absence of oxygen. So these two, anaerobic and facultative bacteria, break the organic matter in the absence of oxygen and produces methane and carbon dioxide. Now the last type, in-vessel composting system. That is the particular waste, it is enclosed in a in-vessel composting system. It is enclosed the feeds or stock in a vessel or chamber that provides adequate mixing, aeration and moisture. The types vary with the requirements for the pre-processing material. Require further composting after discharge from the vessel. Positive pressure is normally applied. Now the vertical composting reactors. It is generally 4 meter high, can be housed in large structures. Organic material is fed from the top. For aeration, the pressure is induced. So this is the figure for the vertical composting. There are vertical augers are present. The composting material, it is inside this particular thing. The material to be composted, it enters from the top, and the composted material, it is collected from the bottom. Now the horizontal composting system. It avoids the high temperature, oxygen and moisture gradients of the vertical reactor by maintaining a short airflow pathway. They come in a wide range of configuration including static and agitated pressure or vacuum induced. Now the horizontal composting system. The waste it is enters from the top and the compost it is collected out from the bottom, and air is also induced into the particular system. Now rotating drum composting. It is also known as digesters. Compared to the horizontal and vertical digesters, cost is less, normally followed after the biological processing. So this is the figure of a rotating drum composting.